I missed you last week. I went down to the beach. My nephew's birthday. We went down there, and I already missed you. You know, I wish I would record it.
Oh, I'm glad you are that avid of a watcher. We did miss you last week too, because we talked about more on the subject that we had talked about the week before, and certainly as we talked about before, there's got to come some kind of resolution to the problem. I mean, there's certainly a lot of people who've already here that are illegal, but we can't continue to take the flow on in this economy that we've been taking.
Well, you know, I'm glad you kind of said it eloquently. However, what happened yesterday in Arizona was the judge did. You know, that was
right. And you know what? Honestly, Rick, that's not a victory for illegals per se.
Oh.
It is a. They were basically
stereotyping. It's just to stop stereotyping, and it is a big step. You know,
right.
I mean, when we're going to the realization of racism and who knows? I thank God that the judge stepped in and made a you know, she stepped in and kept on going where it's going right now. It's not a big step. I mean, it's just a little kind of minor a slow bump on the road, which, you know, it kind of makes us understand that, hey, you know what, there is somebody else watching. Besides, I mean, look, Arizona is making it like a racial thing that's going on.
right. Well, do you realize? I'm just gonna. You've got to understand their problem. They have a population of about 2 to 3 million. It might even be 6 million by now in Arizona. But you got to realize how many people are traveling across. Last week, what you missed was we actually had, I don't know, there was a government entity that put hidden cameras along the Arizona border, you know, in the mainly in the national park that's down there. Okay, they had them on the trails, and on one trail, they estimated at the volume that they saw coming across about 7,000 persons for one trail, and there are several thousands of those trails for people to come across. Now, that's not to say that every trail has 7,000 people walking across it every year.
It's been going on for years.
It's increased in the last years, mainly, sir, because
of the borders, because of the fence being built up.
No, I think there's two main reasons why it's increased dramatically. One reason is because the economy is bad, and if the economy is this bad up here, imagine what it's like in Mexico. That's one reason. The second reason is because a lot of people thought there might be amnesty given this year. So a lot of people are going to rush across the border so they can become a United States citizen, if you understand what I'm saying there.
Now, I remember you mentioned something about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't mention about that, but I have it back in my head.
Okay.
That I think the 14th Amendment.
The 14th Amendment about having a child here and it becoming an American citizen, right?
And it was only for the African Americans.
It was designed for that at the time, yes, sir.
Right, and you also said that they should get out of there, right?
I don't think it's applicable today, if that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that, but the comment that you kind of said, it's I don't know, to me it was kind of harsh, you know, to bring it back in the day, and now, I mean, of course, I mean, there's...
Harsh in what way? I'm sorry. I don't know of any easy way to say we can't take on millions of illegal aliens every year. It just can't happen. We don't have the money.
I agree with you. I honestly agree with you, okay?
Right, and I'm not, believe me, you might think I'm racial, but when I say Mexican national, I'm talking, I should probably say Mexican citizens, because I'm not talking about Hispanics. I'm talking about Mexican citizens that come up from Mexico and invade our country as illegal aliens instead of coming through the right, proper channels.
Okay, no, but now this is my point. It's not only the Hispanics. There's a lot of, like, I don't know if I mentioned 2 weeks ago where I said, you know, I haven't met not even one Hispanic that will blow up a place like Taliban.
Oh, I understand, and that's something we were talking about. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago or last week, but we had some clips on that where they have actually arrested people with Farsi tattoos, which means they're from the Pakistani area or Iran area, and they've arrested people and have them in jail in Arizona that have Arabic tattoos on as well, that they know are from that region of the world. Right.
2 weeks ago. Right?
Okay.
And my point is, you know, I know right now the Hispanic population being slammed is making us look like you know.
Well, no, it's not making you. I don't think it makes the Hispanics look worthless. And I don't even think it makes the Mexican citizens look worthless. I think it makes the issue. What it amounts to is that the Mexican citizens that are basically flooding our countries and our cities are creating an overflow that we're not equipped to handle. It's as simple as that. First of all, if we take 500,000 or 600,000 people a year in, it could even, sometimes it's even 800,000 that we take in legally citizens, we can absorb those people and make new facilities and build it up slowly. But if we can't handle millions every year, that's the problem. And there's two issues with that. If you walk across the border illegally, first of all, they don't know if you have diseases or any kind of things. They don't know if you've been immunized or not, and you could spread a disease, as well as coming across. They don't know your background if you're an illegal that has been in prison. You know, we certainly don't need citizens like that. We don't need more drug runners in this country. We have plenty. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll tell you what, you have drug runners in Mexico, you have drug runners in the United States, you have drug runners everywhere.
Right, because it's such a lucrative business. There are a lot of people doing drugs and running it. I agree, 100%. You won't get an argument out of me there at all because it's way too prevalent. I have my own views on the drug issues. I think that we're spending supposedly $6 billion a year trying to keep drugs out of California and all the law enforcement involved in that. I think there's a lot easier ways to take care of that, and all we're doing is supporting creating the drugs to go up in price and creating more crime. Personally, I think I'm kind of liberal when it comes to the drug issue, not because I take drugs. I don't even smoke marijuana. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot more stable ways to take care of our drug issues than what's happening. But I think it's too lucrative of money.
Drug issue in Mexico. Okay, here in the United States, we have everything set up properly. We have the chain of command. Okay.
Okay.
Out there, the chain of command is corrupt. Okay.
I agree.
And I'm pretty sure you know that.
Yes.
Okay. So, for example, let's say, let me use you for an example. Let's say. You go down to Mexico, right?
Okay.
You go down and you start growing pot. Let's make it simple.
Okay.
Pot, okay.
Okay. Have a pot farm in Mexico.
Okay. Anywhere in Mexico. Okay. And then what you do is you already have your customers here, right? For example.
Okay. So I got to get it across the border to sell it.
Okay. How do you get it across the border? Okay. Everything's corrupt from the point where you're at to the point where you deliver it.
Right. So what you're saying is you basically pay it off as you go to get it delivered.
Yeah, and even and I'm gonna be honest with you, even ICE is involved in it. Some of them are involved in it too.
Well, I agree. I can understand that. I'm going to tell you because there's so much money involved. I mean, they just not long ago in Arizona they busted a truck that looked like it was like a big roll of hay. Okay, what it was actually hollowed out, and it was a board frame with hay around it, and it was full of cocaine. Full. We're talking a huge truck full of it.